Arthur's Salvage by Carrie McRoberts, an adventure story. Arthur Dillon was working actively on the metal salvage drive. As the son of the commanding general of the Panama Canal zone, a lot was therefore expected of him. He had collected about 1,200 pounds of scrap iron, including old automobile rims and half-rusty iron reinforcements left over when the great gates of Miraflores locks were built years ago. Now, at 10 o'clock at night, he was checking over his scrap, where it lay alongside the railroad tracks skirting the edge of the canal from the Caribbean to the Pacific end. Suddenly, Arthur heard voices. "Have you got the fuse ready, Gus?" asked one man. "Sure thing, Fritz," replied a second voice. "We'll hang this TNT over the edge of the concrete wall here, and when the lock gate opens to let that destroyer through first thing in the morning, the whole thing will be blown up." Arthur saw the packet of dynamite in the hands of one of the two Nazi agents, whose guttural German betrayed them. His own mind raced with ideas for tricking the saboteurs. Of course, if he hollered for the sentries, the Nazis would probably be scared off, but then they might shoot him, or they might throw the TNT directly at the lock gate. Arthur suddenly got an idea. He found what he wanted and fastened it to one of the mooring irons on the edge of the lock. Then he pushed it off the lock wall. The clatter of metal in his salvage pile led to his undoing, however. One of the Germans shouted, "Someone is over there! Get him!" Fritz grabbed hold of Arthur. The soldiers on the lock gate turned, and one of them called, "Who goes there?" "Tell them your name," Fritz whispered quickly. "Arthur Dillon," replied the general's son. The soldier greeted the lad and went back on patrol. Arthur was hurried off to a small shack. One of the Nazis said, "We will wait here until morning. When the lock blows up, there will be a lot of excitement, and we can get away in the crowd." Arthur was tied up and placed on a pile of rags. He feigned sleep and listened to the talk of the two Germans. They did not keep any secrets from him. It was obvious that they expected to kill him. Suddenly, Arthur broke free of his bonds and smashed his bound hands through the window of the shack, leaving jagged glass which helped him to cut the ropes on his wrists. A soldier heard the crash of glass and ran over just as Arthur came out of the shack. "What's wrong?" he asked, seeing the disheveled condition of the boy. "There's dynamite in the lock," Arthur called breathlessly. The soldier fired off his gun as an alarm, and everyone came running, but the lock gate was almost opened. The soldiers expected to see this important link in the canal blown sky high, but instead, there was a grinding crash. General Dillon and other officers rushed to the edge of the embankment. "It worked," Arthur said happily. "What worked?" the general asked. "My salvage," Arthur explained. "When I heard the two Nazis planning to put the dynamite over the side, I took one of the auto rims I'd salvaged, fastened it to a towing chain, and dropped it over. It worked just like one of those auto tire bumpers on a ship and kept the lock from pressing against the dynamite." "Boy," the general whistled. "That was sure a valuable piece of salvage. You're a real hero, son." Arthur swelled with pride. The general was more than pleased when his son gave the clue to the headquarters of the sabotage gang, and they were rounded up. A patriotic lad works swiftly when the Panama Canal is threatened.